Alright, so hey guys, I'm doing my thing on the French Revolution social hierarchy, and who's calling me? I don't care. And anyways, um, there were three different types of estates. There was the first estate, the second estate, and the third estate. In these estates, there are different categories. In the first estate, there's the lower clergy and the upper clergy. In the lower clergy, the members of this class worked as village priests, and their responsibilities were like watching the temples and maintaining their neatness and taking care of their requirements. The upper clergy, they were filled by like mostly bishops, and they owned a significant part of France and the land of France. Yeah, they provided relief to the poor in the time of the need when they needed something, and that's pretty much it for them. In the second estate, there was two different things: the nobility of the sword and the nobility of the robe. Why they call them that, I don't know. The nobility of the sword was this class carried more prestige and they served their king. I don't really know what that means, but the nobility of the robe, um, they were also prestigious, but they were lesser than what the nobility of the sword were, so they weren't as powerful. In the third estate, they were kind of like the poor people. They're the peasants and the artisans, and they weren't very wealthy. Um, but for some reason, they kind of were like doctors and engineers and lawyers, manufacturers, bankers, but they didn't have all the um, wealth in the world.
Now, moving on to the French Revolution monarchs, I'm going to be talking about King Louis XVI of France. Louis was king of France when the monarchy was overthrown during the French Revolution. He was born on August 23, 1754. In 1770, he married the daughter of the Emperor and Empress of Austria. This was intended to create an alliance between France and Austria. In 1774, Louis succeeded his grandfather as King of France. Louis initially supported attempts by others to relieve France's financial problems. French support for the colonists in the American War of Independence had brought the country to the verge of bankruptcy. In 1789, to avert the deepening crisis, Louis agreed to summon the Estates General in order to try and raise taxes. This was the first time that the body had met since 1614. Angered by Louis's refusal to allow the three states to meet simultaneously, the third estate proclaimed itself as a national assembly, declaring that it was the only one that had the right to represent the nation. Rumors that the king intended to suppress the assembly provoked the popular storming of the Bastille prison, a symbol of representative royal power. In October, Louis and his family were forced by the mob to return to Paris. In June 1791, they attempted to escape, which was considered proof of Louis's treasonable dealings with foreign powers. He was forced to accept a new constitution, thereby establishing a constitutional monarchy. In September 1792, the new National Convention abolished the monarchy and declared France as a republic. Louis was found guilty of treason and executed at the guillotine on January 21st, 1793.
Hey guys, Standard. Today we're going to be talking about the old order that caused the French Revolution. In old France, there was a very strict order. There were three social classes known as the estates. The first two estates were very privileged. They had a lot of money. They didn't have to pay taxes. They were living the good life. That was only the top 2% though. So the other 98% were the common people. This made them very upset. So, after a while, they got kind of old of this, frustrated, and just kind of took it into their own hands and decided we're not going to live like this anymore. We're going to revolt. We're going to make our lives better. And it worked out for them.
Hey guys, it's Reagan back at it again. and today I'm going to be telling you about the French Enlightenment of the French Revolution. So, back in the day, the French Revolution started because the Enlightenment was happening, and in the Enlightenment, people got lots of new ideas of how to run a government and how to act in society. And so, when the French saw this Enlightenment going around, they realized that this would be the perfect opportunity to start a new government and try to get the things that they wanted to go their way. So they took this opportunity, and they started the French Revolution, which is really just a change in French culture and society because these new things started to change, prices of goods started to change, trade, all these things, and most of all their government and their political views.